into the night. The city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on. Open your eyes and see the people chanting.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to match day number 9 here at RSC Season 26. Our traditional doubleheaders aren't on board tonight, just one for the evening, but that's one for your undivided attention, as we've got Forge Defenders versus Fire. I am K-Vox, and with me on the broadcast tonight is Strut. How are you doing tonight?
I'm excellent, man. I'm just waiting to watch these elite players get at it, flip resets, have some fun, and dump on each other's heads.
Yeah, that's exactly the name of the game tonight, because the Elite is the third highest tier in RSC. And on the numbers thus far, Forge Defenders are the best team in the league. The best performance up to now in the entire season across all the tiers. Fire is going to have their work cut out for them, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on the teams so far?
I definitely think Fire's got an uphill battle here. We're going to have to watch what the Forge Defenders have to bring to the table. Hopefully a lot of their elite counterparts are watching this game, because they're going to have their hands full come playoff time.
Yeah, and that is fast approaching. We only have like 14 match days, I believe. So the time is drawing shorter and shorter. Time flies when you're having fun, just like cars do. And at any moment now, we'll have the stats on the season thus far pulled up for both of these teams. But it's really hard to find a good angle for Fire in this. They're certainly still in the series, still in the match, but the records speak for themselves. 28-4 games thus far, 11-21. Looking at the difference in shot percentage, Forge Defenders have almost 40% shot percentage on the season thus far. Dwarf Haven run a heck of a franchise, I do have to say.
Yeah, definitely. The Forge Defenders have 71 saves, which is really a low save amount considering they're 28-4. You would think there'd be a lot more shots on goal, but obviously their mid game is really good. A lot of pressure on the offensive end, it seems to me.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking at it too, because it seems to me consistently across their teams, across the various tiers. We saw this earlier with their veteran team as well, Drunken Dwarfs. They are a very high-pressing, high-pressure team that keeps opponents penned in on their own goal line. And that door just keeps getting knocked on until it breaks down and gives way. As we look over the stats, though, so far, what's standing out to you most?
I would think the assist rate, they pass the ball really well. It comes down, looks like it comes down toward the middle. They get a lot of touches. Like I said, I'm going back to that 71 saves. That's a really low number for a 28-4 record.
It is very low, which says to me they're not allowing many shots at all. Fire have a higher save count, 79 saves on the year thus far on the season. I'm so used to traditional sports where, a season's an entire year, but that can actually be a double-edged sword, because that suggests to me also that they're taking shots on goal that they have to save. I mean, Fire have also given up 50 goals. But something I'm also interested in is the previous match day. Fire won their series last time. It was a 3-1 on match day number 8 against Wheelchairs, and our friends over in Forge Defenders had a split series, 2-2. So the recent form is looking pretty different.
Yeah, that 38.1 shooting percentage is really standing out too. That's a lot of goals going toward the net and a lot of goals going in. You know, most people carry around the 20 to 25% rate, and so the Forge Defenders have definitely done the work this season.
And I'm interested in seeing some of that work at any moment now. We'll be transitioning over to the Forge Defenders stats on the season thus far. I'm really interested in seeing what happens here. And I'm looking especially at their captain, Reyes, because he himself has a near 40% shooting percentage on the season. I don't actually believe that is the captain. I might have misspoken a little. They're running a democratic outfit. Mai is in the inactive reserve. I just said it because he had the most stats. That is on me. But what are you seeing that's standing out to you most? Because this is one stacked roster tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of shots by all the players. Offensively, they just seem to be a nightmare to go against. It looks like the Silu, he plays a lot of third man, comes up from behind and cleans up a lot of goals that Reyes and Aroomba put up against the backboard, I think.
Yeah, most assists, the most demos, is clearly a very physical player, and I would not be surprised if half of the Force Defenders' chances tonight are on how much Silu can throw off the defense, because it's not just about getting blown up when you're getting demoed and bumped, it's about the fact that you have to account for that car at all times. You have to know where he is in the field. You have to know what he's doing, how much boost he has, what direction he's driving in. And that's a time where you're not counting on Reyes or Aroomba lining up a shot. And especially Aroomba has a very respectable set of assists thus far. But let's see in a moment what the people over in Fire are dealing with as we transition over to their stats. Right here, what I'm looking at is Modi's shot percentage is very high, as are his saves. He's clearly one of the main defensive presences. Him and MZFdoom, I'm just going to call him Foom for the sake of avoiding tongue-tying myself. Those two are going to be a key unit, I think, in tonight. And especially, I'm interested in Alejandro, if we see him on the pitch, because last time out, he had a very high overall shooting percentage. He had an exact third. He was very active on assists. He had averaged one save a game. So this is a team that's been in good form. I'm interested in seeing how well they can keep that going.
Yeah, it looks like Modi is also a high demo rate kind of guy. So we're going to see
Mhm.
the Sulu Modi show. Maybe a lot of demos, a lot of trash out there on the field, and see if the other two guys can clean it up for him.
It's a good time for it. I mean, it is the Stanley Cup Finals. Right now, the Knicks are playing, so we're seeing a bit of a break from hockey, but why not get some of it now? We can see some of these cars crash the boards.
That's exactly right. This is going to be a barn burner here. I think Fire is, they do have an uphill battle. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we're seeing them line up in the pitch, in the lobby right now. It looks like everybody's in. The predictions are up in the channel. Make sure to get your points in, everybody, if you're the kind of person who gambles points. I am not really, but your thoughts on this series. What are you thinking we'll be coming away with tonight?
Forge is probably going to be a 3-1 tonight. Since they went 2-2, they're definitely going to buckle down. I think they're going to bring the game to the Fire, and the Fire is going to have to fight their way out of the elements.
Yeah, that might well be the case. This is exactly the kind of game Dwarves like to play. The Forge Defenders, you forge with fire. So this is kind of a case of the tools betraying the craftsman, if you ask me.
And we'll just have to see if it cuts.
Yep. Gotta get a sword good at cutting. Gotta get that cast metals nice and hot, nice and shaped up. At any moment now, they're receiving the signal to get on the pitch and start playing. Any moment now. All right, looks like they've gotten the signal, everybody. I see everybody filing in. Forge Defenders are ready. Fire is ready. The kickoff is underway. We're getting on the pitch now. Welcome to match day number 9.
Alejandro plays off to the right. That big demo coming in front of Silu's up front now. First man, Modi goes over him. He's off sidewall, down in the middle. Not a whole lot of going on yet right now. Do you see anything happening right now that excites you?
Right now, I'm interested in seeing how well Dwarves' defensive rotations hold up, because what's going to happen here depends a lot on that midfield discipline. You see Alejandro creating an opportunity for Doom right here, but you've got the teammate bump there. Sorry, tripped over my own tongue for a moment. Reyes getting a little too close to Aroomba. That's pinched downwards. Doom's trying to set it up. This is what I'm talking about. See this goal right here? This is from midfield discipline.
Yeah, definitely. Reyes is able to turn on this ball and stay up and get him out in front of Froome, and he's just not able to get back to it and plants that right down the center.
Absolute open net on that lane, and nobody's in a good position to rotate back for it. This is what we're going to have to see a lot more from Fire. They're going to have to manage their boost and avoid more open lanes. This is pitched awkwardly. Aroomba tries to wrestle it by, can't quite get it. Almost everybody on the pitch is in that one corner. Tries to fish it out. Alejandro is trying to get it by Aroomba. Aroomba has no boost. Silu's right there. Can he angle it in? It's a little too high. It's getting cleared wide. That's sent along the wall again. 2 of Forge defenders, no boost between them. Aroomba misses. He loses the 50. Silu comes up for it. Can he get it out to his teammates? Can he get the outlet pass? Right now he can. Alejandro retains control, and I'm seeing a lot of grounded wrestling matches over the ball thus far. It's very interesting to see how well this kind of style of defensive ball movement holds up.
Yeah, definitely a lot of offensive pressure here from the Forge. What I'm seeing out of the defensive rotations is that there's nobody back far enough to be able, there's nobody putting pressure, and here goes a goal. Roomba's able to score that. I'm sorry for being slow on that one.
That is exactly what we're talking about, though, because Doom actually wins the 50 against Reyes here, gets the good challenge, but there's a teammate right behind him immediately ready to hammer it in, and you actually saw a second defender a little too late circle in towards goal to try to contest the shot. And then we have Modi with a kickoff goal before I even finish talking. It's going to be one of those kinds of series, I see.
Yeah, 2-1. Modi comes up over the top of the cheater there. Cheated a little heavy on that one, got by him. 2-1, 3:17 left. This is going to be a good game.
I think what happened there was Modi not expecting the cheat up, and you see Modi getting the demo again. I'm actually sorry, that was Silu, I should say, wasn't expecting the cheat up, because it goes right over his car, but he had every opportunity to jump up a little or angle his bumper a bit to save that, and he doesn't end up doing it. It goes right over his head. A key thing to remember, it sounds simple at first, the ball is faster than you, and often you have to already be there to deal with any threats on goal, on net. That's going in, and what a dribbler to do it.
Yeah, Modi's coming up big in this one. He gets it off the wall. Another one on the ball, stays in tight to it. Modi's able to put it by the defender. 2-2, 2:50 left. This is going to be an offensive. It's going to be a great balance, it looks like, between both. The records aren't speaking for themselves right now as who's going to take this high off the ceiling and put this down toward the middle.
Goes down towards middle. That's going up again. Modi drops the ball. Might have meant that for Doom. We've lost Alejandro. Hopefully he's able to come back soon. Aroomba sends the ball clear. Doom catches it. Gets it off his bumper. Nobody's there to follow up the touch, though. Clears away the threat on net. Silu's trying to create more shooting opportunities to create that midfield and goal line pressure that almost threatens an open net. Reyes is able to carry it. He's looking for a setup down the middle, tries to get that setup going, get that open net, not able to do it. Doom misses the follow-up. Alejandro rejoins us. They do a really good job here, in my opinion, of keeping things under control until their captain's able to come back.
Yeah, that was damage control for sure. A 3v2 at this tier is deadly with these it can be, and they weren't able to capitalize on that. Doom here going to take this pinch off the wall. Wasn't able to do much with it. Aroomba puts it down toward the right-hand corner. Low boost on the Forge side right now. Double commit there. Communication error. Silu puts it back in the backside. Zoom puts it out toward middle. That's dangerous. He's able to get it by. I just think the communication levels, and there's maybe some jitters. I'm not sure right now what's going on.
We're seeing a lot of clumping up, especially from Dwarves. I keep referring to everybody by their franchises. I'm so sorry. These are the Forge defenders, but they're all Dwarves. Check them for chin hairs if you don't believe me. Silu gets a bit of a shot off the wall. A defender gets there high. He bumps the goalie out of the way, but no one's able to follow up on it. Aroomba's the only one in that part of the right field, but Reyes gets the follow-up touch, puts the team ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a terrible read off the sidewall there. I think we've all been there. Modi just able to get to that, and the defender wasn't back in the net with an open net. 3-2, 106 left.
106, but that is plenty of time to tie this up and to get ahead for Fire. We've seen that kind of thing happen in ranked all the time. Reyes gets the save.
Ball's put back in the right hand. A lot of pressure coming in. Nobody here to meet him. Alejandro's trying to get up here and he does get a high pop into the air. No touch coming in from another player. Silu gets this ripped down the middle. Reyes is there. He almost puts it in. We're stacked up in the corner again.
That's happening a lot in this first game, and it's looking to be characteristic of the series. Everybody is piling in and trying to fish the balls out of the corner, almost ending up with stick fights, even though this is not quite literally hockey, despite me shouting out Stanley Cup Finals season. Silu a little too high, can't get the car in place for the double tap. Aroomba circles back, gets the deflection, sends it down. Alejandro gets the inside pass. No one's there to receive it. Aroomba gets the ball. Reyes has a look. No! Saved!
Alejandro dumps this down toward the middle. Shot coming in. It's going to go in. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to handle that ball off the sidewall and puts it down toward middle, and that's just deadly.
That is unfortunate, and we've all been there. In volleyball, they call that kind of thing an overpass. When you play the ball over the net unintentionally, and your opponent basically gets a free touch.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. 4-2, 4 seconds left. Ball's ripped down to the right-hand side. Ball's popped in the air. Gonna try a little magic here. Try to take one for the road. Can't get it. Ball's gonna touch down here maybe. Got a bump in the backside. Possible goal coming in. They do get one for the road. 4-3.
And that is not really going to matter. The game is still going to go the Forge Defenders' way because... Oh dear. And Fire also lost that game, but I'm actually having a bit of a hard time seeing much to say they've done wrong here. They have lost some defensive discipline, and that is what made the difference in that last moment, because that 0-second goal would not have mattered, but it could have. There was a moment there where this was held 3-3. Just have to tighten up their defense a bit and avoid those overcommitments where they're giving the ball over to the defense.
Right, correct. And not to mention the 30 seconds they went 2v3. So that was 30 seconds lost in the game that, for offensive pressure and things like that. It kind of spun them out of their thing. I'm sure they were a little tilted from it. It happens, get disconnected. Then you're working on that end. Reyes put in big numbers, 5-18, 2 goals, assists, 2 saves, and 5 shots, as we predicted at the beginning of the series there. K-Vox.
Yeah, it's hard not to assume that he is going to be the main force anytime he's on the pitch, especially with his amount of experience. You see that Season 4 Grand Champion tag, and it's really hard to avoid that kind of offensive pressure when a player like this is on the pitch. What I'm interested in seeing is how well they play against him or isolate him, especially because a player that strong often creates a gravity well where everyone is accounting for what he does, and often that can leave a lot of pitch open for his teammates.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a couple demos on him, get him, out of the rotation and things like that. I think that may help him a little bit, as well as, the other thing I've noticed is that the Orange team, they need to try to control the ball a little bit better. Their control has been a little bit short of the Blue team. So, going down the road here, we got a 1v1, and Reyes going to play this off to the right-hand side.
Modi tries to create something for Alejandro. Alejandro doesn't have an angle. There's a defender on the wall, sends it along. Doom circling Alejandro. There's a bit of a defensive 3-on-3 midfield scrum going on. Reyes tries to create an opportunity for Aroomba. Not able to get there. Silu overcommits on the jump. Goes a little too far. Ends up bumping his own teammate. That's going to create a dangerous look. Reyes gets the save. Is this turning into a second shot? No. Aroomba has the ball safely.
He plays it out to the right-hand side, feeds it to Reyes. Reyes is going to throw that down. 1-0, 4:12 left. There's your guy, Reyes again.
I finished that call too early because Aroomba immediately develops this immaculate infield pass, dribbles it straight onto Reyes' bumper, and that early challenge instinct was good. I just think the placement wasn't quite there.
Yeah, kickoff here. Aroomba plays it out to the right-hand side. He's going to try to get a boost steal. He does. Silu plays this off up against the back wall. Madi's there. Big, deep recovery here. Aroomba's going to have to... Ooh, we got a little bit of... That's just an unfortunate spawn there.
Yeah, and this is actually a new thing in the new season. You can select your spawn point now. So that last bit of RNG is gone. And really, that means it's now on teams to select their respawns more responsibly.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make a defensive help in most cases when you can do that. It involves, you know, whether you want to be on the same side of the ball or on the back side of the ball. It's just going to depend on what your team needs. And I'm sure that people are going to develop, you know, strategies through that as well.
That's absolutely something I would have my team in the film room thinking about, have them in the scrims, in the free play sessions if I was running a team. We're seeing the physical play wake up too. Silu gets a demo to clear midfield, got a defensive double committed and takes the save, and Alejandro's able to clear the ball away. Modi's forced to wrestle in, immediately takes it airborne, sends it to Alejandro. That's in!
Those are terrible feelings when you don't have any forward motion. You're not able to put the ball out. You got plenty of boost, but you're just straight up and you can't remove it from their net. Oh, Reyes. Sorry about that, bud.
I think that was just having too shallow an angle there because he had the boost to knock it away with more power, but he gets a very bad angle on it, and his undercarriage is more on the car than anything. Gives it a little bump, like when you're doing a flip reset, as opposed to knocking it aside, and that's just a really bad touch. If you're going to do something like that, you don't want to be alone. You want to have your teammates there. We're seeing both teams really trying to sharpen up their defensive rotations. I think so far Fire's been a little better at it.
Yeah, definitely. I think they fixed some of the things that were going on in that game one. As a big 50 comes in across here, it's down in the corner. Foom's going to put it up in the corner. Another play's going to come on. Or Fire cannot quite get to it. Now we got an open net on the other end. Olorondo's able to spawn on the side that he wants to. Big boomer here. Silu going to play it off the wall. He gets it down in the middle. Ball's very dangerous. Reyes is able to play this off to the right-hand side.
That was almost a perfect setup play, and we'll see if this follow-up goes through. No, it does not. The problem was that both of his teammates were in midfield running into each other, and Modi's ball runs straight into net. This is just complete defensive abandonment. There's no reason for all three of Forge defenders to press up here when Modi is in the air contesting the shot.
Yeah, absolutely. He thought they had control, and then he did the creep out. And then that's when you get caught every time. As soon as you creep out, then you lose control, and then it's a goal in your net.
You can see the desire to avoid an open net situation, but it becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Normally, you don't want to have a guy square in goal because you don't have any real momentum if the shot isn't straight on. Right here, you see that exact temptation as there's a bit of a double... Oh, wow. Everybody in range of the ball went for it at the same time. It's a little gorgeous to see the cars all going after ball. That's played off the corner wall. Demo of the goalie, but it's cleared away.
Short boost here, comes down, grabs 100. Modi's going to play this over Reyes. Reyes gets a nice 50 up in the corner. He's trying to bump. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Uh-oh.
Reyes hits his own ball into the net. Own goal. Oloronda scores 3-1, 1:12 left. Looks like they're going to tie this series up, K-Vox.
Yeah, and look at that in the replay. Alejandro actually knocks the ball into Reyes' path. We've been seeing a lot of this so far, these little wrestling matches on the ground over the ball, and Alejandro is really good at it.
Yeah, definitely. Alejandro plays this off to he does not get the boost. Ball's up in the middle, plays it down, open net right now. 1v1, Vroom's going to try to play this off. Vroom can't get it in there. Alejandro, nice 50 coming in. It's in the corner. Vroom gets it by 2. He's going to try to beat a third. Silu's going to have to track this down on the back wall. Ooh, unfortunate pinch all the way across the other side. Modi plays this down toward the middle. Very dangerous. Silu plays it out right-hand side.
Yeah, that's all. Oh, all right. That was a great infield pass towards net, but nobody was in a good position to follow up with the second touch. You're seeing this happen a decent bit with Fire, where they're setting these wide balls, and then everyone's a little too scattered through midfield or in their own defensive half to really send up a second touch to go in for the ball, and that gives Forge defenders plenty of time to contest, to clear, to give up a goal to MZFdoom.
Yeah, Doom plays that really nice off the wall right there. Marty puts pressure on. Reyes has to make a touch that he doesn't want to take, and the shot just goes in. Nobody's back for to push it out of the net. 4-1, 20 seconds left.
That was a supersonic goal explosion. Is there anybody this game has not collaborated with? All right, that's a tough room, but Doom immediately gets the setup. This is perfect from Alejandro. Gets it towards crossbar, uses Roomba's actual defensive movement to play it off corner, and that is sent straight in. It's just immediate follow through, and Silu has no boost.
Alejandro plays out to the right-hand side, looking very grim for the blue. Alejandro. Nice cheeky touch. Ball's high in the air. Nobody's going to get to this. It's going to be off to the right hand side. Hit the ground here in a second, maybe. There it is.
Oh,
Fire wins 1-1, K-Vox.
1-1 on the series. There's a couple more games left to play. A lot of Rocket League left to play. At least 10 more minutes. And we may have lost Alejandro again. We'll see if we can get him back. Nobody wants to see this suddenly turn into a 2-on.
No, I think we're going to have a sub come in here. Clone Self, he's going to come in for Alejandro at this point, I believe.
No, that is one of the observers.
K-Vox, that's your name?
Yeah, it's an old account, and usually I try not to call attention to the men behind the curtain. But we'll see what happens with Alejandro. Indeed, we're going to see a substitution, but it would be a really
In that one, Reyes pulls down 437, 1 goal, assist, saves, shots. Didn't go so well for him that time. Alejandro's at 555, 2 goals, assist, save, and 2 saves and 4 shots. Fire really put it to him that time. A lot of pressure in the middle. They had a really, really nice presence, offensively. They were able to put together a couple passes and, put a lot of offensive pressure on this Forge Defenders team.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were looking at, and a lot of overcommitments defensively from Forge defenders. It seemed like they were trying to be a little too aggressive. They were abandoning defense sometimes. They were giving up large sections of backfield, but Silu manages to stop a 10-second goal from coming in. That's getting dribbled. The defense misses. Aroomba clears it away.
Modi puts it back down toward the middle. Soon tries to get a touch on it. Doom up in the air, puts it off the right-hand wall, push down toward the middle. Reyes plays this back. Doom's going to try to make another. Aroomba is going to try to make another, excuse me. Blue steal for Madi. Comes off the wall. What's going on here, K-Vox?
We're seeing a lot of wall plays because they're trying to create situations where this park the bus strategy, quite literally, fails and doesn't have a good angle because it's hard to position your car effectively if it comes in suddenly from the side, if you're parked, if you're not moving, if you're stationary in or near net. Right now, a lot of balls off the wall, off the corners. We're seeing a bit of a pinball strategy here. I believe that this is just trying to create bad looks for the defenders. Create bad looks, create the cars moving too fast, the ball moving too fast for the cars, off the crossbar, off the post. Modi comes back for it. He circles back for it. He's trying to drop it down for Alejandro. That's not going to be dropped in a playable position.
Big 50 coming off the wall. A lot of pressure from this fire club, K-Vox. Ball goes up, kind of crazy. Modi plays it off the left-hand wall again. The pressure is just unsurmountable at this point. Tricky touch almost comes in the middle there. Room's going to play this up the left-hand side. He does get a nice touch. Spinny, backflip, spinny. Plays it off to the left-hand side. K-Vox, what's going on?
What's going on is what we've seen a lot from Dwarf Haven, the franchise. Their teams like this constant pressure but I think there might be some connection issues. Yeah, we've lost Alejandro again. I noticed that he was kind of going down. Modi and Reyes are also experiencing very high ping. I believe the entire server is starting to have trouble, and we're also seeing it looks like pretty poor boost management from Fire. A lot of saves and a lot of plays where somebody is on very low or even no boost. It feels like every time we go over to Doom almost, he's at a boost, him or Modi, and we haven't seen Alejandro come back. The pings are starting to circulate a bit, they're starting to normalize, but it's been tough. This is a stretch where I think the server infrastructure is the third opponent.
There's a big demo there. He's able to spawn left-hand side. He's going to come across the middle. He's trying to keep this out. Just doesn't play that right. He needed to attack a lot sooner, and he couldn't. It's tough on a 2v3.
Absolutely, and you can tell Aroomba plays a lot of ones. The way he dribbles this in and plays the ball off the left side of his car, his left, because when you do that, you wedge it between your opponent and the goalpost itself, the crossbar, and that makes it so hard to pinch it back out because almost any touch you could possibly get, and here he's going for it again, goes for the flick, and Modi misses it when he challenges it. That is pure ones experience.
Yeah, though Silu was trying to cause havoc down there. Unfortunately, he was going to try to demo the goalie and just couldn't. The goalie wasn't able to make a play on it. This 2-3 is just unfortunate for this Fire club.
If it were me, if I were the referee, if I was a league official, I would be considering trying to stop the game and see if we get anybody back in because of the 2v3. It seems like Alejandro rejoined. Aroomba went for the same move, the same pinch into the goalpost, and at that point, that's just a little disrespectful. That's showing, I'm going to keep doing this until you prove you can stop it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball comes off the front. Very dangerous out front. Ball's off the crossbar. Roomba's going to try to 50. He doesn't challenge. Boost steal coming in. Reyes is going to play this back out front, and he's not able to touch it either. Modi's going to play this down toward the middle. Alejando's waiting. Can't quite get to it. We're going to have some forward pressure here. Fire can't get to it. It's coming off the sidewall. Ball's out front. Wow. K-Vox, I can't believe nobody was there for that.
Yeah, it seems like Aroomba was trying to go for it. You saw him chased up the wall and detonated near ceiling as he was going for it. That was really squared away for midfield. Right here, you see the exact play in motion. Reyes gets the shot, but it's cleared away. Silu gets it in before I even finish talking. I feel like my whole thing is caster cursing. Modi gets the save, and immediately Aroomba catches the ball, brings it upfield, and just sends it straight down for Silu. That was a wonderful aerial pass. These players are really waking up the passing plays. I'm seeing a lot more ball movement, a lot more team attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Modi plays this backwards. He's gonna have to deal with it. Alejando's up in the air. Big demo coming in the net. Ball's down. Roomba's gonna play this. Silu rotates back toward net. He's on back ball. Race up. Gets a big B going down toward the middle. It might be in, and it is. This Fire team's trying to fight from behind, and unfortunately, the 2-3 has put them out of their rotation, and just things have just gone array right now, K-Vox.
You see that failed charge, that failed challenge. The ball gets by him in midair, and nobody is anywhere near a position to contest that. That seemed to me like Fire abandoned defense for a moment to try to just force a goal. Just a high press, high aggression offense, get a lucky goal in, get something in to break the momentum. But when you do that, you're betting the whole house on your ability to score before your opponent does.
Yeah, it's it looks like Alejandro is just DC'd again. Modi going to play this down toward the middle. Silu going to play this off to the right-hand side, pick up 100 boost. Aroomba's going to play this on the wall. Yeah, Alejandro, we've lost Alejandro. Modi plays this away to the left-hand side. It's 2v3 again. Ball's up toward the middle. No orange player. One did get to it, and Alejandro is now gone again.
I don't think it's controversial to say that maybe we should pause this until somebody comes back in or they need to swap Alejandro out, because through no fault of their own, they are getting hit hard from Alejandro just dropping out and having a lot of connection problems.
Yeah, in the last game, he had 555 points, which, he was doing a lot of work for this orange team. So it looks like we are going to get a remake. We've had a request for a remake in the server. So this ball's going to go up. No time left on the clock, 5-0. This one's all but over there, K-Vox.
Yeah, we're going into the final seconds here. We'll see what the league decides about whether, to what degree that counts. It probably will largely, but we're likely to have an attempted remake of the server, see what's going on here, and to what degree we're going to give Fire some leeway.
So we're gonna get this server remake going and try to keep everybody in the game. So we'll see what we
Yeah, I'm
can do there,
seeing everybody
K-Vox.
fall out. We're getting the server remade. We're getting a new lobby. It's looking like by normal RSC rules, we're getting the match remake, but no pausing, no resetting, no accommodations. We're going to see Fire having to play from behind and see what they could do here.
I mean, worst case scenario, they're looking at a 2-2 right now. So, being down 2 to 3 players in those two games, this could gone a whole lot differently. But, 2-2 is respectable against this club that, 18-4 is no joke.
Yeah, and this is also good for Fire a little. They're going to have a chance to take their breath. They're going to break some of Forge Defender's rhythm a bit, their momentum, forcibly puts them on ice while we get everybody set back up, get the server remade, make sure everybody's connections are in a playable state. And that's really hard when a team has built this much momentum. Forge Defenders are going to have to try not to get too cold.
Yeah, definitely. Fire's going to come out swinging, I'm sure. Hopefully, we can keep everybody in the server, like I said. And this Fire team is really, really impressing me. Their record doesn't show it, but they're definitely hanging with this 18-4 club.
Yeah, they are doing their best to put this beyond doubt and to show they belong here, and I can't blame them at all. This is I almost said it's perfect Rocket League. It obviously isn't. Nobody's perfect, even Zen and Atto. But what a match they're making of this so far. They are really forcing Force Defenders to work here.
Yeah, without a doubt. This Fire Club, like I said, they've had the offensive pressure when they wanted it. They're meeting them in the middle. They're doing the things they need to do, and they're pushing the ball away from the goal, which is all they're asked to do. Rotationally, they look really sound. Both teams are playing really well. Like I said, unfortunate it's been 2 to 3 for some of the games.
Yes, and we have actually seen Alejandro already lose connection again. So fortunately, as far as I'm aware, Fire does have a sub on roster, so it's not like they have nobody here and can't put anybody back in. They might have a chance to sub him out, and honestly, they're likely going to have to.
Yeah, obviously that's a call for the captain, and the fourth might not even be around. So uh, they're trying to figure it out. I think we're trying to wait on them at this point.
Yeah, that is all there is to do at the moment. Just wait and see what happens. Wait and see how things shake out. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the schedule, on the lobby, on everything. I'm keeping an eye on Alejandro coming back in, keeping an eye on the NBA Finals, since I'm sure everybody in chat has some opinions about that.
Who do you have?
I'm a neutral fan. I just like seeing a good game, but I do think that things have been a bit weird with the refs, and it would be better basketball if they were screwing around a bit less.
You think Wemby's going to get his first championship?
At this rate, I'm honestly not sure. We'll see how well things will go for him, but it does seem like this is going to be a very neck and neck series so far. I'm really having a hard time picking a likely winner. For about 2 games, it looked like New York absolutely had this, but obviously, I'm not the kind of man who bets on sports. And if everybody's willing and ready and good to go, we can get this on with. I'm hearing from Mothership that the players might be waiting for our word, so we'll see if anybody can get in. I am not in a position to type in chat, so
Yeah, he said they're going to get a sub, so we're hanging tight
yeah.
for a sub to come in.
Yep. That's the latest word from Mothership, everybody. Getting a sub. But for somebody on such a bad connection tonight, Alejandro's been playing out of his mind. You got to give the man props.
Yeah, he's absolutely, like I said, in that one game, he had 555 points with connection issues. That's incredible to do because, when I play sometimes on Wi-Fi and, you get that thing up there in the right-hand corner and you start going, oh, man, not again. But I don't know his situation, but unfortunate for him tonight.
Yeah, chat. Can we get a poll in chat about if this counts as a flu game for Alejandro? I am not a mod in the Twitch, so I can't do it myself.
Looks like we're ready to go, so I'm gonna have them get in the game.
All right. Hopefully that's all we need. Everybody's filing in. We're not losing anybody. Golden's coming in for Alejandro, and this might well be the final kickoff. We'll see how well it goes. Welcome back to the game, everybody.
Golden's able to win. He takes the demos for his efforts right off the bat. Monty, 50's out. See who's going to play this down toward the middle. Aroomba's up really fast. Golden's going to play this off to the right-hand side. Ball's dangerous out toward the middle. Nice kick out by Monty there.
Absolutely good job doing the kick out. I don't like, though, how Fire were all stacking up on the same side of the pitch. They were mere feet away from each other, and that's a really dangerous formation to take in Rocket League because the ball can cover so much pitch so fast. Right here, you see them widening up their rotation, and I think that's a good call. Aroomba's winning a lot of these little 50s. Modi gets the ball away from him. Silu tries to clear it away. No luck on that. Second touch set up. Silu visibly stops, waiting for the ball to come down. Doom's following around for it. Does he have the angle on it? He gets the touch, but is the second touch coming? No, it's cleared off backboard, cleared off crossbar. Silu gets the second angle on it, gets another touch. Reyes gets the demo. That was supposed to finish the shot, but no such luck.
Really nice play there. Modi up, puts it off the backboard. He's looking for a double again. Oh, big save by Reyes. Popped high in the air. Golden's able to get up to this. He's going to play this back toward Aroomba. Aroomba's able to put this into the orange side. Reyes up, trying to get a flip resets, not able to get it. Doom puts this out toward the right hand side. Zulu's gonna have to play this. He doesn't make the turn. Modi's gonna put this back toward the corner. Does get a reset, but can't use it. No shooter coming in. Golden's gonna play a third man here and try to put this off to the right hand side.
Yeah, that was a dangerous way for the ball to end up, and we're seeing a lot of this physical play, a lot of mid-air collisions, a lot of little wrestling matches on the grass. Reyes gets another demo. Aroomba clears the shot away. Modi's playing off the wall, but that is not something that Doom can do anything with. Golden's also in backfield. Doom tries to go up for it. He doesn't have a good angle to challenge Silu in the air. Aroomba circles for the ball, clears it. Golden has no boost. Neither does Doom. Misses the second touch. Can Reyes get anything in? No, that is an open net. Modi's gonna send it in, and Modi draws first blood.
Absolutely. Forge just had way too much offensive pressure there. The double commit killed him. Modi's able to turn around and just kick this into the goal. The aggression is just way too much right now for this Forge Fire team. Forge.
Forge defenders are doing what we talked about a little last game too, that whole full commit, all three cars upfield, all of them involved in the attack. When it works, it really works. It feels like a pack of Dynamikes that learned tiki-taka. But then you have these long stretches of midfield and backfield where there's nobody even remotely close to able to contest the ball, especially when the physicality is waking up. And Modi with a wonderful little touch. Reyes gets another demo. I think he heard us talking about the Stanley Cup, but he was like, bet, I can do hockey.
Yeah, it is getting really rough in there. 50 coming in from Doom. Golden's up in the air. He's going to be able to make a touch. Not a real good one. Modi's able to beat the defender. Sulu puts us up against the back wall. Doom plays this down toward the middle. It's going to be a goal. 2-0. 2:08 left. Fire has come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, Silu gets a decent touch here, but that is how well Doom reads the path of the ball, and nobody is anywhere near back post here. They all chase the attack into the right hand of the pitch from Fire's side. So they're all chasing into that corner and along that wall, and there's just nobody able to create a shot there, create a good save. Aroomba clears it away. You've got a bit of a three-card press forming. Silu slows down. He hands it right to Doom. That's not going to be a shot.
Reyes plays off to the left side. Modi puts this high in the air. Sulu puts this down to Aroomba. Reyes up. Goes over one, over two. Saved by Doom. Really nice save right there. It was a pre-jump save. Modi up. Sulu plays this to the right-hand side. Reyes going to take control of this, trying to put it up toward the top. Shooter coming in. No touch coming in. Modi's able to play this off to the left-hand side. K-Vox seems like the Fire is settling into defense here, and it's going to be a tough uphill for this Forge team.
Yeah, you see two defenders forced into net to stop that touch as Modi tried to create an opportunity there. Aroomba tries to sneak the ball in, doesn't quite get it in. That was very dangerous, a lot more dangerous than it looked. Modi goes for it, he misses. Aroomba has the second touch. He sends it up, he's trying to send it down for Reyes. Reyes gets a touch, but it's too high. That's cleared away before it can be centered. Zoom's trying to carry it. A minute left for 2 goals. This might be a 2-2 draw at the rate things are going, but there's a lot of time left, especially when you factor in kickoff goals. Roomba's circling back, so is Reyes. They both try to turn around, and Golden can't quite finish the touch.
Ball's popped high. Roomba tries to make a cheeky touch there. Doom's going to play this off to the right-hand side. He's going to get it over Silu, back down to dangerous in the middle. Roomba, Silu's trying to bump, play it off to the left-hand side. Modi puts it down toward the middle. No shooter coming in. Nobody back for the Forge team. K-Vox, it just seemed like it's going to be, you know, a fire win here.
Yeah, that is not a whole lot left that Forge can do. Reyes, a little too far to the right. That would have been a beautiful goal. And as it is, they're running out of time. There's no more room for 2 goals, not in 4 seconds. And I believe that is going to be it. A 2-all draw when this ball touches down. And fire. I mean, what more is there to say? They took on the best team in the league tonight, and they forced a draw when one of their players spent about half the series having connection issues that made him barely able to play.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for the Fire Club. I mean, I'm sure that they're saying the same thing in their VCs. I just, you know, hats off to the Fire. They played really well tonight.
Yeah, they played exceptionally, as did Forge defenders, but very interesting to see how things seem to fall apart for Forge defenders. I wonder if that trademark aggression and midfield pressure started to backfire on them.
Yeah, it just seemed like the aggression from the Forge defenders just became way too much for themselves, and they just weren't in position to be able to put the ball back into play. You know, we spoke about offensive pressure and how many shots and saves and things they had. It just didn't add up to the math tonight.
Yeah, the math wasn't there, and I believe a lot of this was Fire's physicality. You saw them forcing matches to grapple for the ball on the ground. You saw them getting a lot of bumps. Reyes on Forge defenders absolutely woke that angle up of the play far more and started ramping it up in the last game. But also, I think the sheer speed he was playing at caused a lot of bad angles. Right there at the end, he had a perfect look at net, a perfect shooting lane, but he comes in at an angle where it goes far wide. If he had had better positional discipline there, that goes in, and we're potentially looking at a chance to force overtime.
Yeah, that would have been a really nice shot to put in at that. I mean, you're correct. His angle was just not on, and with 10 seconds to go, yeah, they could have absolutely tied it up.
Any other feelings on the match so far? We're confirming with the mothership if we're doing an interview, but given Alejandro's connection, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, both these guys played their hearts out. They both gave each other heck at each point. So I mean, 2-2. You can't ask for a better night for Fire anyway.
I mean, they would rather have come in with a 3-1, and there were points where they were flirting with that happening. They were absolutely looking like that they can get things going. And to be honest, I have to say my MVP pick is Alejandro, because imagine what he would have done if his connection was working. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you there. He played really, really well in the time that he had a decent ping, and he just gave Forge defenders, more than they could handle. I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, no arguments there, Alejandro, for MVP. I personally think this counts as a flu game, especially when you force the best team in the league to a draw. Dwarf Haven are going to be in the film room really scratching their heads about this one. The Dwarf Haven franchise runs a tight ship, but I don't think they're going to be happy tonight. Fire did a wonderful job. Alejandro is our pick for MVP. And do you have any last words for the fans before we close up here?
Come visit us on Monday. We'll have another, hopefully have another game for you, and we can cast some more of your exciting plays.
All well and good, nice and simple, not complicating things too much. This is exactly the kind of action we love to see here at RSC. I've been K-Vox. This has been Strut. Thank you for tuning in. And by the way, the Knicks won.